Can you describe your first meeting with Schapelle Corby?
It was a bit of a shock. It certainly wasn't what I was expecting after seeing all the pictures of her as some sort of beauty queen as the media had been portraying her. I knew she'd had a hard time and had an unfair trial just from what I'd seen in the media, even though a lot of it's not correct. You could work out that something wasn't right. But when I saw her, I was shocked. She looked much older, and she did look ill, and certainly nothing what I was expecting.
Can you explain some of your conversations with Schapelle?
Yeah, well, because I'd heard about her mental problems, I went straight to her, and being a person that's done a lot of negotiations over the years with a lot of people, I think I can pretty well put questions to people and get the answers I'm looking for. And so I just posed a few direct questions to her at our first meeting to try to see what response I got. And just from those responses to those questions, I knew straight away that something's not right, that she's a sick person.
Did you see any bullying or mistreatment of her?
I saw that regularly. She gets bullied, she gets treated like no other prisoner in there. There was something like 800 and odd prisoners in the prison when I was in there, and including the women's prison, and she gets treatment like no other prisoner there. She definitely gets treatment that's meted out to her.
Does she get support from other Australian prisoners?
She gets basically no support from any other Australian prisoners, and that's one of the things that really cut deep with me, and I couldn't get my head around that.
You mentioned earlier about the commotion around her. Can you describe and explain that?
Well, whenever she's around, there's always either other Indonesian prisoners following her, or somebody shouting out her name, or the media tracking her, and she never gets any peace, and it's any wonder she survived as long as she does.
Did you witness the press approaching her at all?
Yeah, constantly. Whenever the press came into the prison, usually because there was an Independence Day celebration or some other reason they might be in there, the media would get in, and as soon as they were in there, it'd be, let's go for Corby. They weren't in there for the other reasons at all. They were in there solely to harass Schapelle Corby and get pictures of her and sell to the media back in Australia. But there was a constant approach to Schapelle Corby, no doubt about it.
What were her surroundings like in the women's section of the prison?
Worse than the men's. I think because it's a Muslim country, the women's prison block is more dilapidated than the men's. It's more overcrowded, and she's stuck in with prisoners with 5 or 6 other prisoners. She didn't have the advantage of her own cell like at least I did, which I'd paid for, of course. And I know she was getting harassed by other prisoners in her own cell. So for her, the torment never ends. It's 24 hours a day.
What do you think will happen if she is left there?
I think she'll die for sure. In fact, I'm surprised she's even lasted this long now since I got released.